I can't even think of it.
Yeah, probably a good comparison, Michael, would be in America would be bluegrass. Okay, in the mountains of, say, Appalachia, where the local instruments are kind of handmade, the sound and the music that they play is something created from their local folklore. And these Croatian Tamburitza music instruments are very similar. It's a parallel to our bluegrass music in the U.S.
Doesn't sound like bluegrass, though.
Well, it can.
Yes.
Or you could even look at the mariachi groups too. They have the different size guitars and they play, and they got the bass. The same thing. They're all customized for that culture. Same kind of thing.
Let's have a little sample of Tamburitza music. What's this first song?
Mariana?
This first song is called Mariana, okay? It's an old, very old song, but you know what? I think every Croatian who comes to hear Tamburitza music knows this song.
Tamburitza
It
AllStars.
still gets requested a lot. It's got staying power, for sure.
Divne ti je majske noći, ti si rekla da ćeš doći na prvi randevu. Noće oko mene svud je tama, a Marijana spava sama i ne zna da sam tu. A ja pod palmom sjedim sam i oči skrapa sam i tužan čekam davno suđen dan. Oj Marijana, slatka malo Marijana, ja ću te čekati jer ti ćeš doć. Oj Marijana, slatka malo Marijana, ja ću te čekati dok svane dan. Maštom opet svijeta majsko svjeće, a ja dretim sam od sreće, jer čekam samo nju. Ponoć, davno, davno već je prošla, a Marijana nije došla na prvi randevu. A ja pod palmom sjedim sam i oči zgraba sam i tužan čekam davno suđen dan. Oj Marijana, slatka mala Marijana, ja ću te čekati jer ti ćeš doć. Oj Marijana, slatka mala Marijana, ja ću te čekati dok svane dan.
The Tamburitza AllStars, live in the WLRN studio. They're performing actually right now. This is a tape-recorded show interview that's because the Tamburitza AllStars are playing at their festival at the Croatian American Club in Deerfield Beach at 849 Southeast 8th Avenue. Edo is the South Florida correspondent. So when did you get in touch with these guys to come down for this festival?
I think I started talking about this as soon as I started in September, right?
Yeah, pretty.
Well,
a while ago.
yeah.
And it's kind of snowballed for you.
Oh, we've got people from all over the United States here.
And
In
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah?
We've got a group from Canada here, and we have a lot of people from Indiana, Chicago, Michigan.
Unexpected?
It grew. Yes, it was unexpected.
I guess being in South Florida has its advantages.
I think...
He offered us free land.
yeah, right? I think the cold temperatures had a lot to
come
do
to
with it
that.
up there.
Yeah. So do you guys miss Edo back home in Indiana? Or do you notice him missing? Are you was he a member of the band back home?
Oh yeah, Edo, I and another fellow Dave played many jobs together along with Joe, and Jim's been popping in and out over the years. But
Is the band still active back home?
well, when Edo comes home, yes, we put the band back together and we play with that particular group. We all play with other groups.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Currently, so we're all playing all the time. Joe plays every weekend probably.
Well, Joe, you don't just play in Tamburitza orchestras, do you?
Pretty much.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So there's a big demand of it up in the Northeast.
There's a lot of people from the Balkans and the Chicago area.
We've
There's
got
a lot of
some-
people in the Balkans from the Chicago area. Mm-hmm. And there's a
Have you ever?
demand for the music, and it's nostalgic too for people. People also, it's like you give them back something from their home here. Mm-hmm. So
Do you feel the roots in it with you? Is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't been back to the old country though.
Yeah, I've been like 6-7 times.
Oh, is that right? Playing music?
Pardon me?
To play music?
For the music, and I have relatives there, and
But you actually toured and sang over there too.
yeah,
So
You tried
perform
singing?
in festivals. And
Did all you guys ever go back to?
yeah, just recently,
Yeah,
this
sure.
last summer, we were all there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe and I and Jim.
Okay. All right. And Edo, have you ever gone?
I have not.
Do you want to?
Yes.
Okay.
Take me with you.
Well, Edo, the orchestra is still practicing.
Oh yeah, we're practicing every Monday. They're amazing. They practiced all the way through the holidays, never took a break. They even asked for double practices before we performed, and that's kind of amazing. I mean, I didn't bring it up.
Did you have an orchestra before? Were you a leader of an orchestra before?
In Indiana? I did about 20 years ago.
Many years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had the Hoosier Hrvati.
Hrvati.
We still have it going, and Edo's actually currently starting to write some music for us again. And we have his old music from before, but we've went through a couple directors, and we still perform. There's festivals throughout the country for the Croatian Fraternal Union. Actually has roving festivals for the kids groups in July and adult group in beginning of November.
Much different from the festival that Edo's putting on right now.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Because groups like Edo's, we played in Pittsburgh this last November, and we had 33 groups of adult groups coming in and performing a 12-minute show on stage with thousands of people there listening to this over 2 days.
So this is all different Tamburitza groups from
Yes,
all over the country.
All over the country.
And how many Tamburitza groups you have for this festival this past weekend?
Well,
We got Hoosier Hrvati is represented with several of us from Northern Indiana from Edo's old group, and then he has the Canadian group that came down in
Croatan.
his new group.
and,
Well,
South
that's so
Africa.
exciting.
So it's kind of like 3 groups.
And then there's a lot of people in here that do play that are just here, that came from like Virginia. We've had people, Paula Poskin, a lot of
Several
people
people
here.
from
Yeah.
Chicago area.
that you've just met recently through
No,
your-
they just came down for this. They're players.
Oh,
and
they're
just-
for the
just to
festival.
come hang out.
Or I come to see Edo's first concert with this group.
It's just this past weekend, the Tamburitza Festival at the Croatian American Cultural Center at 849 Southeast 8th Avenue in Deerfield Beach. They're just finishing up now with their Sunday night barbecue, lamb picnic, and dance. It'll end at 6 o'clock tonight. So I'm sorry our listeners couldn't get a jump on that one. But I assume Tamburitza music has evolved over the years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, certainly. As a music genre, it certainly has. And when we talked about earlier that the first song we did called Mariana, it's a very, very old song, very simple song. Okay, groups still play it today. It's still very popular, but it's got that old song style and sound to it, okay? And as music has evolved, Tamburitza music certainly is following trends, becoming more and more modern with the chord structures and rhythms and melodies and even the words, okay? And even though we don't necessarily are not fluent in the language, you can tell by the style of the music when you hear it coming now from Europe that it's certainly evolving. And we're part of that. We actually enjoy all parts of it now, okay? We love the old songs, but you know what? There's a lot of beautiful things happening with the newer music coming out. And Joey's become a master at these songs. And last night when we played at the restaurant here in town, okay, it's interesting that we started out with some of the older songs, and probably for the first several sets that we played, there were a lot of those. And as the night went on, it moved over to all of the new stuff coming out of Europe, out of Croatia.
I'd like to hear that. You have let's have a sample of some of the newer Tamburitza music.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay. One other thing to note is that what makes Tambura unique too is it's portable. We can take this anywhere. We don't need PA systems or microphones. And adaptability. A lot of songs that we play, the songs weren't made on Tambura. But we have
You
adapted
adapted
it.
it. I see.
We adapted it. And that brings all those songs together.
So people would recognize the song, but with the new tune to it, the new adaptation.
Yeah, and it brings the music home to them wherever they're at. They don't have to go to a concert and buy tickets for it. And
It's kind of folk music. It's folk music.
So.
And I just want to say one thing, Michael. It's interesting. You asked a question earlier about getting together, and we all live in different parts. I live in South Carolina now, and Johnny and Joe are in Indiana, Illinois. Eddie's down here in Florida. But when we get together, whether it's here in Fort Lauderdale or it's back up in Northwest Indiana, it's like we haven't been apart. We may have been apart for a year.
Yeah.
And as soon as that first song starts, we've gelled right back together like we've been together all week.
How exciting.
Okay?
That's
Yeah.
great. Now here's the Tamburitza AllStars.
Diamond.
Daj mi čašu rakije, hoću da se napijem, neka redom znaju svi, da me sad ostavljači. Neka redom znaju svi, da me sad ostavljači. Daj mi pušku da pucam u tvoje srce neveno, neka redom znaju svi, da me sad ostavljaš ti. Neka redom znaju svi, da me sad ostavljaš ti. Daj mi flašu rakije, hoću da je razbijem, neka redom znaju svi, da je sad ostavljaš ti. Neka redom znaju svi, da je sad ostavljaš ti, da je sad ostavljaš ti. Da me sad ostavljaš ti.
The Tamburitza AllStars, live in the WLRN studio. I love that, but I have no idea what you were singing about.
Give me a drink of whiskey, right?
Yeah, it's a drink.
This is really asking you for a shot of rakia, which is like whiskey or brandy.
It's party music.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yes.
is there a dance? Is there a special Tamburitza dance?
There's Kolos, which is a circle dance from the
Okay.
area, and these are mainly singing songs, so it's not the same, but it's very similar.
So when you change the music and modernize the music, does any of the traditionalists come